Hi, it's David Moyes. Ask me anything on Reddit. It's very difficult to think exactly who's going to become a good manager. Sometimes it's surprising who do. But I look back at Mikel Arteta, who was here as one of the players, and I think to myself, yeah, possibly when I look back now, had his own mind, his own thoughts. And so he's obviously one which has stood out. But Lee Carsley, for example, who's now England under-21 manager, I just didn't think that Lee Carsley would be doing the job, but he's doing a brilliant job with England under-21s at the moment. So of the group I've got at the moment, who do I think could be possibly future managerial material? Maybe Michael Keane. Maybe Michael Keane. I'm trying to think who else might come into that category. I've got to say, I didn't think Leighton Baines, who's on my staff, would go on to be involved as much as what he is, and he's doing really, really well here. I think I would like Wayne Rooney to be playing with me again. I think because he was such a player at a young age. He wasn't fully developed when we had him here at Everton right away, but he was just an incredible player for the other clubs he went to play for. I also think that his ability to score goals, his strength, his power, all the attributes you'd want in a good football player. But I have to say, over the years here, I've really enjoyed having so many people, from Tim Howard to Tim Cahill, Julian Lescott, you name it. Over the years, we've had so many different players, and so many of them have been very good. Well, the truth is, I never played for IBV. I was only 15 or 16, and my family had a big connection with Iceland, and it was exchange trips where my dad would bring football teams over from Iceland, and Iceland would take the Scottish teams over to Iceland. So I found myself quite often when I was a young boy going to Iceland and spending my summers over there. I wasn't coaching, but I was a young player at Celtic at the time, and I was asked, I want to go and do some coaching, and that was on the Westmere Island. So there's a lot of talk that I played for IBV in the Westmere Island, but I didn't. But I certainly remember the boat journey from Reykjavik over, because I think I was thrown up just about all the way. Oh, you would not believe how many I would say, you know, we nearly had. And I find myself doing it now. I'm sitting watching the games with my wife, and I'm saying, hey, I spoke to him last year, but he didn't want to come, or he did want to come, or we couldn't get him, or whatever. So you've pushed me on that one, and I'm going to have to try and come up with an answer for you. And I'm finding that pretty difficult off the top of my head. I'd just like to say I have missed so many, but on the other hand, when you get close, it tells you that you're working hard and close to the good players. I can't quite understand that question, because I don't really know what the Pickford-sized duck looks like, and I don't know what it really means. So if you don't mind, I'd have to give that a blank, sorry. It may have been, but our decision to sign Tim Cahill was a long one. I had obviously several years in the Championship before I came to Everton. I was always out watching games then, much younger, being able to go and see so many games. But Tim Cahill was the one, and the biggest story I remember about that is actually bringing Bill Kenwright with me to watch Millwall playing in Millwall. Bill took me in his Jag, and we got bashed, the car got bashed, everybody banging it, and with us driving in at Millwall. We watched Tim, and we liked Tim. We had a meeting with him in Bill Kenwright's office in London, and Bill loved him because Tim had great personality as well as having great characteristics, and obviously went on to become a brilliant player for Everton Football Club. Yeah, lots of things. It was a great move for me at the time because there was very few British managers getting the chance to manage in some of the big leagues in Europe. You know, quite often the British managers might get jobs in Sweden or Norway or China, for example, or even America at different times. But the big leagues in Europe have not really been filled with British managers since the likes of Terry Venables, Bobby Robson, Howard Kendall, for example, some of the names. So when I got offered the job at Real Sociedad, I really was looking forward to it. It was a brilliant place. If you've never been to San Sebastian, it's a fabulous place to go. I should probably be working for their holiday people, the way I talk about it. But the best food in Spain by a mile, and obviously it's very well priced as well. But I have to say that culturally, I learned a lot from going to Spain. They taught me a lot. The players were fantastic. I didn't quite enjoy the league because I thought they kept changing the kick-off times late and doing things at the last minute, which we're not used to here in the Premier League. But overall, Real Sociedad had a great way they worked. It was all their own players in their academy, mainly all Basque boys. Small number of people from overseas would be involved, but not many. And it's suited because I always like to sort of young players and promoting young players. I can tell you there's very few clubs will do it better than Real Sociedad. Best player I've ever played with is undoubtedly Danny McGrain. Scotland captain, Celtic right back. He still is every time I talk, and I've been very lucky to play with some really good players, certainly in my early part of my career when I was at Celtic, but I couldn't look past Danny McGrain. No, I'm a Dave as well at times, but I think most people call me David. But I can do Dave, no problem at all. Over the years it's been difficult because there's been so many different players when I look back. You know, the great Chelsea teams, how you'd stop Frank Lampard scoring, you know, Didier Drogba. When I look back at the Liverpool teams, you know, when they had Alonso in midfield and Steven Gerrard, and you were saying, wow, how are we going to deal with this? Maybe a bit more recently, Odegaard's been a real problem when playing for Arsenal because he's so good at what he does. So I think there's so many to name. Manchester City, with Silva in the early days, was an incredible player. So I think the Premier League has so many good players, it would be difficult to sort of pull them out, but off the top of my head, there you go, that's the ones I've come up with. Well, football is the community really, and I think that every football club really plays for the supporters and plays for their community. I generally think the People's Club is a really good title for Everton, because I think that we're always trying to be around it. There's loads and loads of Everton supporters throughout the world, America, Europe, and we're still trying to grow back to the levels that this club was at a long time ago. Hopefully we're going to do it in the next few years. We've got new American ownership who we're looking forward to taking us on and taking us further than we've been for a long time. It might be strange to say this because obviously when you go into being a football manager, you're probably expecting everything. But I think the way it takes over your life, I think you have to be completely dedicated. You have to love you have to love the game. I think to do well from my background is you had to work really hard to succeed. You know, talking about, you know, going to lots of games, watching lots of players, you know, preparing your work the best you can. I think it takes away a lot of your own life, and when I look back at my long career in management, I'm now the oldest manager in the Premier League, which I'm not proud to say that. But the time you miss with your own family is something. So if anybody out there is thinking of becoming a football manager, you have to have the consent of your family, really, because it takes up a lot of time. I do remember the first time I saw Wayne Rooney. It was actually at, I think it was the semi-final of the FA Youth Cup. I'm saying this, I think they were playing Tottenham and Wayne was playing. And I was actually up in the gantry at Goodison watching it from there, and coming down after the game, I came down and the boys were on the pitch and they were actually doing a cool down. And I went over and I just said to them, I says, look, you'll be with me next season. And I always remember saying that, and Wayne didn't speak much at that time. You know, you got a nod or you got a you know, at that time from him. But he was, and I think actually by the end of my first season he'd actually been on the bench away at Southampton when he was still at school. So I remember us having to get him out of school to do it. Yeah, that's someone who knows their football speaking there, I can tell you that. But let me tell you, I don't want to ever think of any other goal other than James McFadden against France. I think it felt like the best goal, but the truth is Scott McTominay's goal the other day was sensational. And I think really the way the night went for Scotland supporters, they'll all be really looking forward to going to America and invading America. This will be the biggest invasion America's had for years with Scotland supporters, and we're hoping to go over there and shock the rest of the world. I don't know if I have any such thing as a favourite meal. When I was much younger, and you know, it was great when you were winning on a Saturday night, I'd tell the wife, come on, we'll get dressed and we'll go out and we can have a bit of dinner and maybe a bottle of wine. But you could never book it, because if I lost then I would never go out. I'd just go home, pull the curtains and go to bed, really. And that's part of being a football manager is, you know, the disappointment and how it affects your family life. Now I quite enjoy, the minute I get home now, I'm so tired from the game. I'm nearly lying on the couch and getting a carry out. I might go around to the local pub and have a beer. But apart from that, I'd rather wait maybe to the Sunday or the Monday whenever I get a chance and take my wife out. I'm probably more a coffee person, but brought up a tea man, but moved on to coffee now. Have I got biscuits? It has to be Tunnocks. It would have to be Tunnocks tea cakes or caramel logs. And for all you people in America, if you don't know about it, you need to get right into Tunnocks. Oh, what a question. The best ones are the ones where you're winning dead easy and you've got no pressure on. But obviously sometimes the games, and the one which springs out is, I think Duncan Ferguson scores the goal to get us into the Champions League just about in the run-in. I think we beat Manchester United 1-0 at Goodison, and he scores the goal with a header late on, and it was probably the result which got us into the Champions League. We finished 4th that year and we had to play a qualifier, but that's a goal I remember probably more than any.